What is up, my friends? It is time for my player ratings, and this is going to be one of the easiest ones I think I've ever done, but at the same time one of the hardest ones because it's going to be high scores all around. I think you'll agree. As you can see, Liverpool have beaten Bournemouth by 9-0, and I'm going to try and somehow give Alisson Becker a rating when, quite frankly, he had nothing to do. So look, let's start with the big, beautiful Brazilian Adonis in goal. And look, we got to be fair about this. Let's give him a 7. 7 for work for everybody. He didn't really have anything to do today, but he deserves a 7 just because of how nice he looks in the jersey alone. So with that in mind, we'll move on to the next player. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a lot of criticism recently from performances. Answered those critics emphatically today, not just with a good performance but a wonderful goal. If you haven't been lucky enough to see Trent Alexander's goal yet, you're in for a treat on Match of the Day tonight, because it was an absolute missile launch from that right foot of his. No chance for the keeper, didn't know what was up, the ball was past him before he could even dive. So Trent today, my friend, you get an 8 from me, and that's really generous because you deserve it. Great performance, delighted and proud of Trent. Now we move on to somebody else who's been under the cosh a little bit recently, Andy Robertson. Robbo had a belting game today. He had another one of those rabbit in the headlights moments in the penalty area. He was really unlucky though. The ball bounced up into him and he tried to guide his header, but it flew over the crossbar. It doesn't matter. Got himself an assist late on in the first half as well, with a wonderful corner that was headed home by Virgil van Dijk. So Andy Robertson, sir, I am going to give you exactly what I gave your teammate, and that is an 8 out of 10 today, because it was a much better performance and one that I hope Robbo will build on. Moving on to the next game, which is of course against Newcastle. Will he start? Will Costa start? Let's wait and see. Virgil van Dijk. Not a lot of people know this, but he is our centre half and he is our number 4. He can defend, and today we did get to watch him score, and it was a beautiful header as well from Virgil van Dijk. Exactly what you want from a big centre back. It was a cross in from Andy Robertson. Van Dijk powered the header home right on half time as well to send us in 5 goals to the good. Virgil van Dijk, sir, because you got yourself a goal today, you're going to get a 9 from me, Virg, because you kept a clean sheet. I know I could have given a Robbo and Trent a 9, but I didn't want to. I wanted to save a special mention for Virgil van Dijk after his dressing down from our vice captain James Milner last week. Right, now we move on to Joe Gomez. Again, did everything but score today. Another good performance from Gomez as he comes back on his road to recovery. He is going to give the manager some headaches. When Kanade and Matip get fit, Joe Gomez has reminded us all exactly why he is at Liverpool Football Club and exactly why the club wanted to give him a new improved contract. Gomez, you get an 8 today as well, sir. Very faultless performance, nothing wrong with it. Build on that moving forward. Next up is Fabinho, and again the trend has been that Fabinho hasn't been in his best form. He was dropped for the game away at Old Trafford. Even a bad Fabinho to me should be starting at Old Trafford in all honesty, but Jurgen Klopp reinstated him today with Jordan Henderson and Elliott in midfield, and I have to say this was much better from Fabinho. Broke up the few attacks that he did have to deal with, but it was a threat going forward as well. So Fabinho, going to give you a 7 today, mate. You're going to have harder days in midfield, so I don't want to be too generous at the points. Nothing wrong with his performance. Definitely great to see him back on the road to doing the right thing. So Fabinho, you're going to get a 7 from me today, sir. Then we move on to the next player, Jordan Henderson, El Capitan. I'm sure it won't have passed by a lot of you. You wouldn't have missed that he did have that RIP Olivia t-shirt on underneath, or that body warmer top on underneath his jersey. Class act Jordan Henderson, as you would expect, and he played very well today. They all seemed to enjoy it, and they played with a smile on their face, with a lot more freedom. The crowd were behind, the sun was shining, and we started off impressively, and Jordan Henderson was part of that. So for the captain today, I'm going to stick with a 7 as well for Jordan. Delighted to see him put in a better shift. I hope he can build on this on Wednesday if we start a similar midfield. Yeah, well done Hendo, well done everybody. Let's move on to the next player on the list, Harvey Elliott. He only played 45 minutes, not because he did anything wrong. I can only assume it's because Jurgen Klopp was that impressed that he wanted him to be rested up and ready for Newcastle on Wednesday. Got himself a goal today, and just like I said about Trent, if you haven't seen Harvey Elliott's goal, you're in for a treat, my friends, because the ball was played to Bobby. His miscontrol ricocheted towards Elliott. Left foot, curling strike, beautiful goal. Elliott wheeled away in celebration. But apart from that, he was everywhere. He was popping up all over the pitch. Had a great knack of finding space as well. His relationship with Trent and Salah on that right side has only gone from strength to strength. So you, sir, get yourself a little tasty 8 from Craig today. And I'm saving the 9s and 10s for Elliott, because there will be many of those days as we move forward. Right, Lucho Diaz. Great performance. My man of the match, if I'm being honest with you. Scored 2 goals today, both headers, and he was unplayable. Absolutely sensational for me on that left-hand side. He's a pain in the arse for defenders, and we played him through the centre as the game went on as well. His second header was my favourite header of the day. It was a beautiful move from him across the front of the 6-yard box. Costas whipped in across, flicked the header, it was past the keeper before he knew what was up. And for me, yeah, I'm going to do it. He gets a 10. He's my man of the match. That was as near to a faultless performance as I've seen. Well done, Lucho Diaz. And I think that may be the first 10 I've genuinely given out on the channel. Next up, Mo. How do you grade Mo today? Because he played well, was involved in a lot of attacks, didn't get an assist, didn't score, but should have had a couple, but played the game with the right attitude and a great smile on his face. He was trying to literally run through players at the end to get himself a goal. He will have better days in front of goal. He was unlucky not to score. He missed a couple of good chances. That being said, I'm going to give him a 7. And that's fair. If he had got a goal, I'd have probably upped that by a point as well. But most importantly, he looked happy. He looked like he was enjoying his football. And that's always good as far as I'm concerned. Next up, there's something that the cop wants you to know. Mr. Roberto Firmino, the headline stealer himself. 2 goals for Bobby today and a hat-trick of assists as well. And he still had time to be substituted by Jurgen Klopp for the game to finish. Who knows? Maybe Bobby could have got himself a hat-trick. So happy for the lad. Klopp said he's been looking great in training. He hadn't been shown it on the pitch, but today that was much better from Bobby Firmino. Pressing was on point, his link-up play was on point, his goal-scoring instincts were perfectly honed, particularly for his first one where he threw the ball at a blocked clearance that ricocheted up into the air. Everybody paused, Bobby didn't. So for that, Mr. Firmino, you're getting a 9 from me today, sir. Probably a 9.5, Bobby, if I'm being really honest with you. Great performance from him. And that just brings me on to the last player. The reason that I normally don't do substitutes, the reason I'm doing Carvalho is because he came on at half time and I really liked his performance. He was so unlucky not to score with a strike recently that went just whistling past the post. Today, though, he got his moment in front of the cop. There was a long ball played down the left-hand side. Costas somehow managed to cushion the ball back towards Fabio Carvalho. Instinct took over. Carvalho knew what he had to do. He swung his right boot at it, placed the ball perfectly into Travers' bottom left-hand corner, and he wheeled away in celebration in front of the cop. It was a lovely moment because every Liverpool player, every outfield Liverpool player ran to celebrate with him, made sure they all gave him a pat on the back, and he knew it was his moment. Another little thing I like to see from him as the game finished up was a little bit of anger, a little bit of fire in that belly, because there was a couple of players that were leaving a little bit on him, shall we say, and Fabio Carvalho was having none of it. He was standing up for himself, and I love to see that. We have got ourselves one hell of a footballer, my friends, and I can't wait to see him develop his talents at Liverpool Football Club. Who needs Coutinho? We've got Coutinho 2.0 and Fabio Carvalho. That finishes my player ratings, my friends. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video and let me know who your man of the match is. Mr. Paddy Murphy is currently doing a match reaction as I record this. I'm going to be taking Sunday off, so I will see you good people on Monday. But if you want to catch us live tomorrow, Paddy has a watch along on a Twitch channel at 3:30, so come and join him for that one. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.